So you wanna go to war with me? You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the.
All right, gang, happy Thursday. How is everybody doing tonight? I just got done editing and dropping a video on Highcroft, a potential play for you. Maybe a little bit wild. It's a little bit out there. It's a little bit conspiratorial, and I've really wanted to go on live at a decent hour tonight, but that video took me a little bit longer than I thought to get wrapped up and published. So sorry for the late hour. We're probably not going to go past midnight Central tonight. It's 10:47 because it is still another work day, another trading day tomorrow. And we're going to have to get up early and see what's what. I know a lot of you expecting a little bit of news here and there. Let me get some of these things turned on. Viewers. How come I can't see my viewer count? Oh well. Smooth Operator, thank you for being a member for 11 months. Punchy Nuts, what's up? Student of the Game, what's up? G Immortal, PD Harris, how y'all doing? Let me switch my chat so I can see everybody. And yeah, it's Thirsty Thursday. This is just a quick live stream for you guys to ask whatever questions about what is going on this week. We got our trusty Miller Lite, a couple bottles left from the July 4th celebration. And it's been a busy week here. I've been kind of enjoying, now that the AMC hearing is done, a little bit of free time. I've still been sitting here, you know, working with the folks in the Discord and obviously watching and waiting along with you guys for the AMC judge's written opinion, but I've taken the opportunity to get a lot of personal stuff done. I had 2 doctor appointments to get my physical and my annual blood, full panel, cholesterol, all that stuff. Today I went to the eye doctor, got the full checkup. It's been 2 years. I usually do that every year. Everything's good. Blood results look good. Eye exam was good. In fact, my prescription got better, which I don't. At my age, how does your eyesight get better than when you were there 2 years ago? I don't know. Must be living right. Just doctor said, keep up the cigars and the beer, Tony. You're doing just fine. Michael, what's up? G Immortal. We already said hi to G Immortal. You get 2 of them. Anya, what's up? Gorilla Gardener. Thank you for the watching the Highcroft video, Gorilla Gardener. You guys also know I've been working on getting, now that my leg injury is healed, I'm gonna talk about an upcoming live stream with Teddy Zane next week. But I started back into the fitness stuff in June with all cardio. I started back at the gym on July 1st. The first week was a little bit rough. I'll do a fitness update this weekend. I won't bore you with it tonight. But back in the gym now for 2 weeks, really getting back into the swing of things. I'm past the sore first week of the gym. And yeah, I'm starting back from the basement after almost, over a year of not lifting any weight because of a damn torn ligament or tendon, whatever it was, in the back of my knee. Starting from the bottom. So a couple people keep on saying, show us the progress photo. Way too early for that, friends. Give me till end of August at least. Still eating right. I did allow myself to start having a little bit of alcohol after I dropped the first 10 pounds in June. I still got 8% more body fat that I need to lose, maybe 10 more pounds of body weight. So I still have a big challenge ahead of me. Let's just put it that way. But at least I can eat a few more calories now that I'm lifting. Yeah, I haven't had any hard alcohol. Who said that? PD Harris. I've had a couple beers. I take that back. We went to that wedding. We went to our friend's wedding last weekend. And I did have, what did I had? I had a couple bourbon on ice. Yeah. Keep me correct here. Paul says, Highcroft to the moon. Yeah, let's talk about Highcroft for a second. For those of you that watch my video, what do you think about the theory that Highcroft is on a planned pump? Has anybody been sitting back watching it for the past couple days? Not today with the Share Intel news, but the 3 days before that. Anybody else besides me wondering, why is this thing going up like this out of nowhere? I know I have. I've been watching it like, why? Today, okay, I can sort of see why. Share and tell, people get excited about that, but I'm going to be very curious if my little crazy theory ends up being correct again. And maybe we're finally uncovering a pattern of what these CEOs do. These penny stock CEOs. You know, GNS did it, GTII, Mullen, Vocal created, Hellbiz. They all got this plan where they got shit they want to unload on retail. Oh, tell them about Share Intel. Tell them you hired a West Christian. Pump. And they're selling to you. They're selling to us. People believe in the pump. And you can trade the pump. That's no problem. That's what we want to do. But we got to temper our expectations and take profits. And I was talking this week with people that were playing Finger in my Discord, and the same thing. The higher it got, the more I urged them, take profits, have a stop loss if you're trading it. Finger, FNGR, by the way, has their earnings tomorrow. That'll be make or break for Finger. I have nothing against Finger, but all the people on social media saying it's a short squeeze when we got 2% short interest, I ain't buying it. Play the momentum always. Have reasonable expectations. Take profits. Nobody wants to be holding bags on another iffy stock. What is it? A mobile payment platform based in Singapore, trading, doing business in China. At least in Finger's defense, that they don't have, from what I can tell, there's no warrants or dilution they're trying to dump. It was a legit FOMO run that seems to have been generated on social media, but I'm not buying that it was a short squeeze. Tomorrow, if the earnings is great, Finger could get a second wind. If it's bad, you're going to see it crash back down. So stay tuned. All I want, I have nothing against any stock. What I don't like is seeing you guys lose money. So I will always err more on the conservative side. You already know that. Aaron says, any word from Zern? She's not returning my phone calls, Aaron. I'm just kidding. She's on another case from July 10th to July 18th. And that may be affecting her free time. She's got a very lengthy, I'm sure, written opinion that she's going to be issuing. Typically, they can take up to 90 days to issue those because they still have their other caseload, their other, work that they're doing. So we had that very interesting bump in after hours on Ape yesterday. I know we were talking about that till midnight last night on Discord. And we all have our theories, right? Mine is probably similar to many of yours, that maybe Antara finally got out of the last bit of their position. I don't know. What do y'all think? I'd love for them to be out. I'd love for them to be out because they've been pinning the price. And the fact that we see the price now approaching $2 makes me think that maybe that theory has legs. And I want them to be out before the conversion so that we can see where it could run to. Where can it run from $2? Or there's little side gambling pools. Is it going to be, is 2 the top? Is it going to run to 3? I think I saw, man, I'm seeing some crazy numbers on YouTube and Twitter. I think someone said $1,000. I'm like, what are you smoking, bro? Joey says, what are you lifting? So I have, maybe for the past 10 years, Joey, I followed the Strong Lifts 5x5. So it's 2 workouts that you alternate every other day. First day is squats, bench press, and row, barbell row, bent over. And then the other workout is squats, deadlift, and overhead press. And then I add on like 2 other small, I mean, that is the workout. That's it. You can add on other stuff, but you don't need to. I have a couple of muscle groups that are hard for me to grow, like my calves. So I do a extra calf workout. Every guy, even my age that's married, likes bigger biceps. So I do an extra bicep focused, just, standing curls. And I do dips and pull-ups. Those are what I add. Not every workout, just it depends if it's workout A or workout B. So they're all compound movement, free weight barbell exercises for the most part. I'm not trying to get bodybuilder status. I'm just trying to go into old age gracefully, maintain some muscle mass, some function, some balance, and stay as lean as possible. Before I got hurt, I was somewhere around 13-14% body fat. And when I measured myself at the beginning of June, it had risen to like 26%. So that's a lot of weight right around your belt, But we're well on the way of trimming that down. Give me 60 more days. Thoughts on GameStop, Jason? I'm not in GameStop at the moment. Let me bring it up on the chart here. I have been trading in and out of GameStop. I'll show you. Where was my last sell? I thought I had all of my trades on here for GameStop. Oh, here you go. I sold on March 23rd on this run up. And I should have bought. You can see my lines where I'm watching kind of like the buy zone, and then if it goes below the red, which is at $19, that's you really ought to buy here, Tony, under the red line. I neglected to buy right here, and that would have been a great trade. Buy at 18, sell it almost 27.5. So I neglected to do that. I was getting greedy, thinking it would go down to 16, and it didn't. So long term, what I say about GameStop is they need multiple back-to-back quarters of profit, and we'll have to look and see how the next quarterly announcements come out with them. That's going to decide GameStop's fate, and that's why it's kind of stalled out. So I'm not a huge fan of GameStop. I don't have anything against them, but I'm more in the camp of gaming's gone digital. I don't like any big box retail store that is counting on inventory and thousands of locations. It's not the type of stock that I like to buy. The Best Buys, anything like that. Brick and mortar, having to sell inventory, I'm not a huge fan. But getting to know the chart and the momentum and the traders and the holders gives you some advantage in being able to identify where these dips are, jump in, grab a position, and then be patient and hope that the company doesn't rug pull you with bad quarter. So I would like to see for my next buy below 23, and I will for sure be buying it if it goes below 19 and a quarter, 19.50. And if it just runs from here, if they have a great next quarter before I get back in, well, that's just the break I take. You know, that's my bad luck. But there's literally thousands and thousands of stocks to pick from, and I'm not a super bull on GameStop, so I'm just trying to time it and make money. Anya says, I don't think Antara is out. Did you see the 100 million trade in after hours yesterday, Anya? 100? Who has 50 million shares to sell 2 times? Now, last we knew, Antara had 93 million. So that was already making me wonder, well, all right, 50 plus 50. Antara didn't have 100 million. So we got our last report from Antara late June. Maybe they sold a bunch between end of June and yesterday, and they had 50 million left. It was a dark pool trade. That's why the price didn't move, if you were wondering. That was off the exchange. The trade printed to the tape, so you see the volume bar without any corresponding price movement. That's not crime. That's just how dark pool off exchange trade works. A buyer and a seller meet up. They either agreed on or anonymously agreed on a price, depending on how the trade was set up, and it gets reported. And so there you go. Steven. Where is Sufyan, Steven? We need some Sufyan questions tonight. What do I think about Chewy? I'm a customer of Chewy. I love the company. That's about all I know about it. We get the majority of our pet feed delivered from Chewy. Anya says something is still holding back ape. I mean, Anya, ape's gone from $1.50 to $2 in just a matter of weeks. It was getting held at $1.70 when Antara had 180 million shares, and then I think they almost have like brackets. This is how I think of it. The fewer they have left, the more they're willing to let it run up. We saw it pinned at $1.70. Then we saw it pinned at $1.90. Now it's at $1.95, $2. So either they're slowly getting out of the last of their position, or maybe they're all the way out. And then any remaining reason that if Antara is out, I'm just guessing, then any other reason it's being held back is just uncertainty about the judge's decision. Because if she were to rule against AMC, obviously that's going to be catastrophic for ape. Potentially. Joey says, I just started delivering from FedEx around. There's a lot of Chewy boxes. Yeah, I'm one of those assholes, Joey, that orders all my heavy stuff. Like I get 2 50-pound bags of chicken feed. I get, delivered on a regular basis at the same time, or 2 50-pound bags of cat food. My wife buys the dog food, some prescription, because he's old. So we don't get that from Chewy. What a workout, man. Being a delivery driver, you don't even have to worry about the gym. All that moving around and lifting those heavy boxes. All right, Steven says, what do you think of my theory? 93 million remaining from Antara late June, 50 million sold yesterday, 43 million over the last 10 days. Yeah, Steven, I think that is a very good theory. I'd say If I was a gambling man, Steven, I'd say your theory is correct. Oh, and cat litter. Yeah, I forgot about that. We get our cat litter from an Amazon repeat delivery. But they're much smaller boxes because she wants some fancy, I don't know what it's not clay, whatever, sawdust pellets or something. First drink since Saturday. And we're gonna smoke. What else? Had some interesting blood test results. Still on no medications. Everything was fine. Blood pressure is good. All the blood panel is good. I had 2 elevated markers related to keto, though. And I don't know if we should talk about that tonight, or should I do a video this weekend and talk about that in the fitness update. But I talked to Teddy Zane, and we're going to do a live stream for you guys on Tuesday night, a fitness live stream, because my traps, trapezius, are another hard gainer muscle group for me. I said, Teddy, how about you create a trap routine for me? Make it where I'm gonna be in pain and screaming and bitching, and give me some time frame. Give me a challenge to try it. 30 days, 90 days, I don't know. So he said, yeah. So Teddy and I are gonna hang out. We're gonna hang out on live stream with you guys, and I'll find out what he's got planned for me on Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central. As far as Punchy Nut says, he wants to know about the blood markers now. So there were 2 things that were out of whack, Punchy. My LDL cholesterol and a liver enzyme marker. I think it was AST, I think was the one. And what I want to say about that, let's do the easy one first. And I already posted all this in the Discord for the keto geeks or the fitness geeks in our fitness channel. Your liver enzyme, I would recommend, if you're going to start exercising, get a blood panel before you go, because you don't want to give yourself a heart attack after you start working out, and then you get your blood, and then you find out, oh, well, my liver enzyme's elevated. Why is that? This liver enzyme also, it's something that they measure to see if your liver is not functioning correct. But what many doctors may not remember from their medical training days is that enzyme is also in all of your muscles. And if you just started a heavy workout routine and you're breaking down your muscles, they are releasing that same marker. And so it is very common to have elevated, they call it liver enzyme, but it's not just from the liver. So that one was slightly elevated, just above the norm. And it's not the first time that I get my blood checked regularly, and I know that my liver enzymes are fine. But every time that I start back in the gym, that one always shoots up past the acceptable range. That is the breakdown of your muscle. And there are many, many videos and papers that you can go look at that will validate this. I mean, like peer-reviewed studies. It's not uncommon for this marker to go up if you're just starting, and it takes about 7 to 10 days of not exercising for it to go back to normal levels. Now, I'm not going to stop exercising before my next blood check, but I do expect, once I get into a regular routine and I'm not just like tearing everything up like I have been for the past couple weeks, that will return to normal. Because I've been doing blood tests because I've been doing keto for a long time. You want to check if you're doing keto, make sure that you're not fucking something up. Every now and then when I stop exercising and then start, that liver enzyme will go up from muscle breakdown. And so my doctor agreed with me when I went back in for the consult, and she said, let's just check again in 3 to 6 months. And that was already my plan. So fair enough. The other thing that happens when you are on a keto diet, especially when you're in a weight loss phase, which I'm in, right? I'm trying to lose 20 pounds of stored body fat, is when you're in that weight loss phase, you can get elevated LDL cholesterol. Now, the worst thing for the American diet right now is high triglycerides and high cholesterol, and that comes from junk food and sugar. And you do not want high cholesterol and a sugary, carby diet. That is very, very dangerous for heart disease and a bunch of other risks. But if you're on keto, like my triglycerides were well low because I've been eating very clean for the last 6 weeks. And my HDL was fine, but my LDL was slightly above the norm. When you're breaking down fat in your body to lose weight, it is not uncommon for your LDL to spike. And especially when you're adding cholesterol in your diet or fat, which I'm eating a heavily fat diet. I'm not, doing super crazy. But I eat red meat and eggs and cheese and olive oil and avocados and salmon. It's all natural food when I'm eating greens and meat and eggs and butter. That in the weight loss phase, you can see elevated LDL from your body breaking down the fat cells and basically, shrinking them, and you get that LDL floating around. So we will recheck that in 90 days also. I know from a decade of doing this that I don't have from keto chronic LDL issue. So I think it is from the weight loss phase. And we'll find out. I should be done with my weight loss by end of August, and we'll recheck the blood September, October. So a couple fun little science facts. But look, I'm going to urge you guys, because I care about you. If you are eating crap food, high carb, high cholesterol, junk food, McDonald's, sugary stuff, for the love of God, go get a blood panel done. Most insurance cover it, and even if they don't, it's cheap. And have your cholesterol and triglycerides checked. And it is horrible what Americans are doing to themselves with a fatty diet and a sugary diet. You put high fat like McDonald's together with high sugar, like all that ketchup and sodas and candy and ice cream, you are taking years off your life. Fat and sugar do not go well together when they are broken down by your body. Sugar will destroy the LDL, and then you have these damaged LDL running down, and that running around in your blood. It's not good. Punchy, she did not tell me to drink more water, but this is empty. I've already emptied this 3 or 4 times today. I've been drinking a lot more water, and almost only water. That's all I drink. And like I said, I'm not drinking a lot of alcohol. This is my first drink since Saturday night when we were at the wedding. So I'm always thirsty, and I'm always drinking a lot of water. Punchy Nut, 7 months keto, down 33 pounds. Love it. I'll tell you the other benefits I'm seeing now that I'm back on strict keto. I'm having trouble sleeping. You get so much fucking energy, it's hard to sleep. The other night, I went to bed at 10 p.m. and I woke up at 12:30 a.m. feeling like I had slept the entire night, which was a little bit irritating. But I'm waking up at 4 a.m. now with no problem. Just wake up. No need for caffeine, no coffee, no Bang energy, nothing. I don't even really need to drink caffeine. So, and you know, the clarity and the focus and the losing weight, there's a lot of benefits to a Mediterranean or a ketogenic diet where you restrict carbs. And how do I know I'm restricting? I'm logging every meal. So in June, I did less than 20 grams of carbs per day. And now that I'm lifting, I allowed that to go up, you know, maybe 40, 50 grams of carbs on lifting days. And those are, you know, if you're going to have carbs, make sure there's something good for you. Like I have, I made 2 hamburgers yesterday and today. So I have a whole wheat hamburger bun. I've got Irish oats, you know, the slow digesting oats, no instant oats. You could have whole wheat pasta, brown pasta, but most of my carbs I don't like to get from that stuff. It's mostly vegetables. No, you know, try and avoid the starchy stuff. Go with all your beets, squash, zucchini, greens, any kind of green shit, anything colored, reds, no carrots. I mean, a little carrot, little tomato, I'll have those, but not a staple of the diet. It helps on your cigar if you actually cut it, Tony. Helps if you cut it. Yeah, zoodles. I need to get a zoodle cutter. I don't have one of those. I like to stir fry yellow squash or zucchini with some onions. Brussels sprouts is good. What else? Oh yeah, I like the sauna too, Punchy. I've been reading some studies about sauna after you work out. I'll do it a little. I'll do like 10 minutes before my workout and 10 minutes after. King Louis, what is up? He says, I've always doubled up on legs after reading the testosterone is increased and stored in the legs. Yeah, every workout, you know, my workouts are every other day. And every workout has squats. So that's how important they are. And your legs can take it, right? Because you use your legs all day, every day. They can take the beating of doing a workout every other day. Squats are vital. I wish someone would have told me that when I was in my 20s and 30s. Like I didn't discover that till later in life. And, you know, now I just got to make sure at my older age, being in my 50s, that I don't overdo it. I'm not trying to go squat 300 pounds. It's just enough to maintain muscular strength, leg strength, and get the benefits. Like what you said, it is fantastic for your own body generating growth hormone, testosterone. It's fantastic. Eric says, Tony, do you think with crypto ripping, people taking profits and buying AMC will help our squeeze? I don't know. What do you think? I think, you know, I don't try and tie crypto to stocks, any stock per se. And if people are buying AMC or Ape or anything with profits from crypto, great. But I'm not searching for a unique tie-in between crypto and one stock in my portfolio. I would hope that if they're taking profits on crypto, they're either keeping it in cash to reinvest when crypto dips, or they're looking for undervalued stocks. There's thousands of them to choose from, and moving that money over and redeploying it somewhere else. Brett says, one of my thoughts on Ape, just to recap, I think that I've been saying since March, I think the settlement will be approved. I think you'll see when that settlement approval announcement drops on the Court of Chancery's opinion page, which is where you can find it. Go to the Delaware Court of Chancery. They have a page you can click on for opinions. Every daily opinion is posted there. That's where when you'll know. I think the AMC will trend down immediately and Ape will trend up immediately. I don't know if they'll meet exactly, but that's my guess. Everybody's got an opinion, right? I've talked to so many people one-on-one in the past couple of weeks, and I always ask them, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen? And everybody's got a different idea. And I see ideas on Discord and Twitter and YouTube videos. That's my idea. You can have your own idea. So the time to buy Ape obviously was when it was at $1 or cheaper, and you'd be in pretty good shape right now. That's something we've been talking about for a long time here. Even if you weren't trying to play the ARB, if you would have bought Ape when Antara got their deal, you could have bought it for 70 cents. You'd be up a couple 100% right now. I mean, it was an easy play to call. We just didn't know the timing. Stephen, there are 3 certainties in life: death, taxes, and Ape conversion. Oh man, Stephen, I am so certain it is going to be glorious for the Tony Denaro haters if I'm wrong, right? And if I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. I have no problem with that. But I've gone through all the filings, all the law. I know that a lot of people don't agree with me. And, if we step aside from any impacts, remember, all of my analysis is just trying to tell you guys what I think is going to happen. Impacts of what happens is another story. We can have a different discussion about that, but I'm just trying to tell you what I think is going to happen. I did not see any illegality. Was it a little slimy? Did they do an end run around shareholders because they felt they needed to ensure the company had access to capital? Yeah, that's very obvious to anybody. Was it illegal? No, I don't think it was illegal. And again, that's not an opinion on what happens after. That's just me giving you my analysis about what is the judge going to rule. I did not read any illegality. I understand people who think it was illegal. I don't agree with that based on my read. And that's just my interpretation of the law and all of the filings. Everything appeared on the up and up, as unsavory, unpalatable as it was to many people. It was not illegal. But we'll find out. Doesn't matter what I think. Doesn't matter what anybody thinks. It only matters at the end of the day what Zern thinks. The plaintiff and defendant have already agreed that it was not illegal, and they want a settlement. So now the judge is going to approve that settlement or not. That's where we're at. All the videos that are still going on day after day, dozen after dozen about the lawsuit. Why? Why are y'all still talking about that? Chill the fuck out. Find something new to talk about. There's no point in talking about the lawsuit or the vote at this point. Wait for the judge's decision, and we'll deal with the outcome after that happens, for better or worse. But I don't know what is so fascinating to people that they still got to put out 6 videos a day talking about the damn lawsuit. Or the vote. I mean, people are arguing about the vote. The fucking vote was in March, guys. I saw Phil arguing with somebody about, was it 87%? Who cares at this point? I mean, I understand why you're upset, because they used Ape to swing to make sure they had over 50% of all outstanding shares. But even if you take Ape out of it and you just look at the common, 71% of common that voted for the reverse split. It was overwhelming. The people that showed up wanted the reverse split, wanted the company to have access to capital. Whether they use it or not, we'll find out. We don't know, right? If he uses it, whether he wants to sell 50 million shares, 100 million, 400 million, we don't know. I see people assuming, oh, he's automatically going to sell 400 million shares the day after the conversion. How do you know that? Or are you just trying to scare people? What's the incentive for assuming the worst case scenario? We don't know. I don't know. Certainly don't know. I certainly hope he doesn't do that, but no one knows. Nate Ross, what's up? I'm not as worried about the reverse split, as I said, as I am worried about a dilution announcement. I would prefer, when he does it, that it be a smaller rather than larger amount. And then on the flip side, all in this same time, while we're worrying about the judge and reverse split and a dilution announcement, in just a couple weeks, we've got the Q2 earnings, which I'm for Q2, I think it's going to be good. Q3 and Q4, I still think we're going to potentially lose money, AMC. But I think we have a chance for upside surprise in Q2, and that could be an interesting factor depending on when all of these dates hit. The Zern, conversion, dilution announcement, Q2 earnings. How anybody can predict what is going to happen is beyond me. I sure can't. Speaking of movies, Anya says, Barbenheimer, we saw Sound of Freedom. That's what it's called, right? Sound of Freedom. We saw that last week. Last night, we saw Mission Impossible. Both fantastic movies. I've already got my tickets for Oppenheimer next week. Sound of Freedom, go see it. I think, we had cold blasting AC. We had hot food. We had comfy chairs. The stewardess came around and massaged our feet. AMC was not trying to prevent people from seeing Sound of Freedom, even though you see that on social media. Do air conditioners break from time to time? Yeah. When I went to see Indiana Jones, the sound was out. I had to leave the theater, move to a different auditorium. Fortunately, there were multiple showing Indiana Jones, but shit breaks. I mean, you're in the middle of damn summer in North Carolina and the AC goes out. It's one unit. You have dedicated unit for each auditorium. If it goes out, it goes out. Is the rest of the theater cold? Yes. It's zoned. It's not like one big box cooling the entire fucking building. Shit breaks. You know when shit always breaks? Your AC in the summer. Because it's running nonstop. So AMC's shown that movie. The movie's hundreds of thousands of times, millions of times. I don't know. It's doing great for the budget they had to produce the movie. Mission Impossible's out now. I thought it was a little bit long because I was in an IMAX seat. The IMAX screen is fan-fucking-tastic for Mission Impossible. But the seats in our IMAX theater are your basic coach seat. There's no big, comfy, full reclining leather with heaters and all that. Not in the IMAX theater. And those were rough to sit in for 3 hours. So I could have used the movie being 30 minutes less. But that being said, fantastic action sequences. As I think about, as a D-rated actor, how shots are put together when you're filming. As I was watching that movie, I just couldn't help but marvel how the F did they get that shot? These continuous action sequences. Just mind-blowing. I think you're going to enjoy it if you go see Mission Impossible. This is part 1. My wife, you know, last night when she got home, she was already asking me, when is part 2 coming out? I don't know. Do y'all know when part 2? Steven, do you know when part 2 is coming out? I don't know. But she really enjoyed it also. She stayed awake for the entire thing. And for her, usually I stay awake for the movies, and if I drag her to one, she'll get a good nap. But she stayed awake for that whole movie. Millie says, historically, Adam Aaron dilutes and we go up. Yeah, we need to go back and revisit that, Millie. Was it Adam Aaron diluting and we went up, or were we going up and he diluted into it? Because, you know, most companies do the second, right? They've got their prospectus sitting out there, and then a run gets created by hook or by crook or by fundamentals. A pump gets created, and the price skyrockets, and then they sell into it. You know how many plays I've seen that pattern repeat over the last couple of years since I've really been watching these short squeezes, You know, I am ranked now number 2 short squeeze specialist. And I see this pattern where they have the prospectus on the side waiting, or they have convertible notes, or they have warrants, and somehow a squeeze gets started. They call it a squeeze, even if, like Finger, it's 2% short interest. It's always a squeeze when you go to social media. And lo and behold, you can see afterwards in the filings, all that convertible debt gets converted in the squeeze. All the dilution happens in the squeeze. All the warrants get exercised in the squeeze. And then people are shocked a month later, 2 months later, to find out that the float went up 7x and the price fell. Why did the price fall? I just don't understand it. Well, I'm just talking, you know, dozens of stocks I've watched this in. There was never any justification for that run up fundamentally, financially. It was a squeeze, whether it was FOMO squeeze or a real squeeze, doesn't matter. But they unloaded, and then when the squeeze peaks and the buying pressure slows down, the new shorts come in, and then it definitely gets shorted. Gets either sold off or shorted, and it drops right back down. So I want you guys to be thinking about that. I'm going to keep on, as unpopular as it is, man, the Finger fucking people on social media absolutely hate me right now. Apparently I'm a paid off troll, a paid short, because I was saying in my Discord this week to be careful that Finger could be topping out. And then I got really angry yesterday when it started dropping, and they're still saying, oh no, there's hundreds of millions of shorts that you just can't see. Well, I can see the reported shorts, and it's 2%. It was never a short squeeze. It was a beautiful FOMO run up, though. We love them. Recognize them for what they are. Get in early, get out, move on. Anya says, who ranked you that? Well, I ranked myself that, Anya. The number 1 spot was already taken by a Canadian, and nobody was claiming number 2 short squeeze specialist. So I claimed it, and then one of my people in the Discord made me a certificate. True story. Six Son, what's up? So if we know this pattern of what CEOs do, take advantage of run-ups, or if you want to call them squeezes, that's fine. Let's just call it a run-up. If we know that they're waiting for run-ups to dilute into or have their lenders convert convertible shares into, or convertible bonds, or dump warrants, like Mullen, right? Remember Mullen Mullen just filed a prospectus a month ago for 2 billion more shares. What happened right after that? 2 massive days where billions of shares of volume traded. Why do you think that was? Did something change in Mullen? Nope. But someone started pumping it so that someone, the lenders, could sell 2 billion shares. And I see it right in the fucking volume. 4 billion shares, 2, 3, 4 billion shares traded in 2 days. You're going to tell me that wasn't those lenders dumping on retail? And now what's it doing? It's coming right back down because they got what they wanted and then they shorted it at the top. Happens over and fucking over. And I want you guys to recognize it so you don't get trapped by the social media clickbaiters. Get in early, enjoy the run, make money, get out. Bader M, Batter, is Finger done? I don't know, but here's what we know. I think tomorrow is their earnings, right? Am I correct? They had a good run back up today. We got a very iffy candle here, right? We don't know until we see what tomorrow's candle looks like, if this is confirming an up or a down pattern. So we need to see tomorrow's candle and tomorrow's earnings. So it's either going to be massively up or massively down, depending on what the earnings. And if it is earnings tomorrow, like I think I'm Finger, I also don't know if it's pre-market or aftermarket. So someone who's following it a little closer than me, let me know. Maybe, can someone look it up for me? I looked on their website and I couldn't find it. I did try and validate a day or two ago when it was, but it wasn't easy for me to find. I only spent 30 seconds looking, though. I don't really care that much. It's a beautiful run from $1 to $7. Who wouldn't like that? And I never on my Discord tried to talk anybody out of playing it. I don't hate stocks. I said play the momentum, but recognize that the higher it's getting here, the riskier it is for you, and have a exit plan or have a stop loss. What are my thoughts on fundamentals, Will? What company are we talking about? Mr. Barksdale? While I'm waiting for Will to answer, I was going to go back to Steven's comment about if I was Adam Aaron, what would I want the proper order of events to be? I would want the judge's decision to be in favor. This is not me, not what I want. I'm just saying if I was a CEO, how would I want to play it? I'd want the judge's decision in favor of AMC. Then I would do the reverse split and conversion. Then I would file a prospectus to say how many shares I intend to sell at the market and or through private offering. And then I would want to drop the Q2 earnings with a upside surprise. And then I would want a FOMO run up on that good news. You've already got the reverse split and conversion under your belt. Whatever little uncertainty happens right there. But then you slap them with the Q2 earnings upside surprise and cross your fingers for a run up on that. And then you've already got your prospectus filed. You sell into that. So if I'm gaming it out and it all works that way, I want you to be thinking as it's running up, if it runs up on a Q2 earnings, that they are going to be selling into that. All of those things have to happen in the order I said for that to happen. You could get Q2 earnings long before Zern. What if Zern takes till September? Then we get a beautiful run up potentially on AMC and Ape just organically without having to worry about reverse split and dilution. I still think you could get a little bump up in both if they were to happen. You know, if we get earnings before anything else, you could see some upward movement in both AMC and Ape, as people are surprised that the analysts are saying -6 cents and we post a positive quarter. If I'm right that it's going to be positive. All right, Will, about Finger. I said this in the Discord. I've said this on video, I think. I know I said it in the Discord. I didn't see a lot of gotchas for Finger, right? There's no warrants that I saw. There's no dilution that I saw. It was a legit clean run-up based on social media hype. And I don't think it was a planned run-up for any nefarious purpose on Finger. As far as fundamentally, they're in decent shape. It's not the worst. They're not profitable, if I recall. But I looked at the balance sheet. I looked at the income statement. It's not by any stretch the worst that I've seen. In fact, you could almost say they're on the cusp of it being good. So I don't have a lot of bad things to say about Finger. The thing that's irritating me right now about Finger is only people at $7 saying that it's going to short squeeze higher than GameStop. That irritates me because so many people have lost money being tricked into bag holding shit, buying it at the top of a run up. I'm just sick of that shit. That was why I started my channel in July of 2021, irritated at Matt and Trey for what they told people when it was at $60 and $70. I would not have been telling you to keep buying at 60 and 70. I would have been saying the same thing I am about all these other plays. Take profits. I made a lot of money in early June. A lot on AMC. And I was sitting here watching them just aghast at what they were saying. Stream Benji says, won't there be 10x less shares after conversion? That is correct. Or 90% less, right? Price will go up 10x and shares will go down by a factor of 10. Joe says, what are your thoughts on the Hollywood strike? Did the actors join in? I was saying on a call earlier today in Discord that I did not foresee it taking this long, and the longer it takes, whether it's writers only or writers plus actors, this is not good for AMC's 2024 and 2025. It's not. I mean, when you start getting projects pushed out, remember, I am a D-rated actor, and I have done some movies, and you always get script edits the day before your shoot. Every scene is it's not uncommon for them to give you an edit. You hope they don't, because you spent all night before memorizing it, but you might get an edit when you show up on set. And those are the writers. Well, guess what? If you're filming a project right now, you're potentially shut down if the writers aren't working, because no one's there to edit your scene. And for projects that weren't in production yet, it's even more of a problem because they can't do any script read-throughs or script changes. It's just horrible. So again, as I relate that back to AMC, if I'm thinking that we were going to have a chance at profitable quarters in 2024, now you're adding risk to that. If 2024 and 2025 projects get pushed, this adds concern to the management of AMC for profitability. which is again why access to capital is important. It gives you breathing room. It gives you time. And that you never can plan on the what ifs, the bad things. Another COVID, a writer's strike that lasts for a year and delays everything. We need more movies. We don't need fucking delays. So it is concerning. And I think if you're holding AMC long term, you need to be thinking about how's that going to affect our 2024. It's not good. I'll tell you that. All these people are so certain that profits are just around the corner, but not if projects are getting pushed. You might have to wait a few more quarters. So I think about that stuff. That is why looking at the fundamentals and the financials and understanding the cash balance and things like the working capital become important if you're in a play for a long time. George says bag holders will be fingered, right? Took his 55% profit, sleeping well. Beautiful. Yeah, I had a lot of people in the Discord, not a lot, but several that played finger and told me they got a profit and got out. That's all I want to hear, George. The more of you that are telling me on a consistent basis, Tony, I listened, I got my profit, I got out, I'm sleeping good. That makes me feel like all the fucking hate I get is worth it. What makes me sad is the people I talk to on a daily basis that say, Tony, I'm just holding too many bags because you weren't around when these guys talked me into this, or I didn't know about your channel and I bought at the top because I believe some clickbaiter who doesn't look at financial statements, who lied to me about the short interest. It is so irritating to me and depressing to hear how many people are holding bags on so many plays. So even though it's not popular, I'm gonna stick with my theme of trying to sort things down just to basic facts without hype. It's not as popular. It won't grow my channel as fast, but if I can help you make money and not lose money by taking reasonable profits at a reasonable point, then in the long run, everybody wins. Take your money, look for the next one. If it goes up, I don't time the top of everything perfect. When I take profits, sometimes I've had plays run up another 100% after I got out. Do you think I lose sleep over that? Not one bit. What plays are people bag holding? Oh man. Tell them in the comments, guys. There's hundreds of them over the last 2 years. George says MMTLP was my lesson. Yeah, I was live streaming when MMTLP was $10 to $12, and I said, get the fuck out. No, Tony, we want to fight it in court. If it doesn't squeeze, we want to fight it in court. Okay, I said, all right. You make your choice. You know how I had to block so many people that are mad at me because I said sell MMTLP at 10 to 12 bucks. I got so much fucking hate. But if you look back and you're bag holding MMTLP right now, do you think in retrospect it might have been a better decision just to take the 10 bucks? I mean, what could you have done with 1,000 shares at 10 bucks versus now you're in limbo for God knows how long with a stock that got run down to nothing? Was there fuckery? Did Fintel screw everybody over? I don't know. I don't really care. The point is get the profit and move on. That's all. Pelosi's baloney says, what plays are people bag holding? All of them. Oh, that hurts. It hurts to hear that. But I mean, now that we're having more free time, we're going to talk about not just, I mean, it's depressing to talk about penny stocks that people are bag holding. I want to give you guys insight into other things that I'm buying that are solid. And the first tip is go look at a company, look at their income statement. Do they have positive earnings for the last 20 quarters? Buy profitable companies. It's a lot less painful. People are stuck on this idea of buying companies that have no revenue or no history of profits. And then you wonder why they all get run down. Stop buying those companies. At least with, make the bulk of your portfolio profitable companies or mutual funds if you're not a good picker. And if you like to gamble like I do, then allocate 10% of your portfolio, 20% if you're a degenerate gambler, to shit like this. And know when you go into it that you're probably going to lose that money unless you get lucky. That way you have the right mindset and you're not blaming the CEO. You're not blaming naked shorts. You're like, I'm buying a company that has no revenue, Mullen, Highcroft. I'm buying a company that has negative earnings for as far back as I can see. I'm buying a very risky play. I will only blame myself if it goes south because I understand the risk. People are not accepting that self-blame in these plays. No one made you hit the buy button. You didn't look at the financials. You knew that the financials were bad, but you said, I don't care because someone said it's going to squeeze to $1 million. You got to get better than that. Look at the financials if you're holding it for more than a week. Know what your risk is, and then decide, do I accept this risk? Do I accept ownership of this decision? And if you're bag holding stuff now, learn to accept the risk, learn to accept responsibility, take your licks, do better next time. That's what I am here for. Help you do better next time. I know, we all want the moon on you. We all want the moon. I was, when I was talking to my eye doctor today, I was talking to him about my channel, and he's like, Tony, I just buy mutual funds. I was like, well, for 90% of people, that is the best thing to do. Because number one, most people don't have the time. Number two, most people don't have the financial education to analyze a play. And so index tracking mutual fund for most people is an easy fire and forget long-term 10, 20, 30, 40-year plan. There's nothing wrong with that. But a lot of us like to gamble. I like, where are you going to, is your mutual fund going to go up 700% in 3 weeks like Finger did? No. So I like to gamble on little momentum and squeeze plays, or even if they're FOMO plays, I don't care. I like that because even though it's a smaller percentage of my portfolio, and AMC is not by any means the only stock that I hold. It's a percentage of my portfolio, a small one. If it runs, that's a sweetener to the overall return. Whatever play runs, whatever gamble play or plays you're picking, if they run, that's a sweetener to your overall return. But that takes time. It takes dedication. It takes learning to read the charts, sorting through the bullshit on social media. And so that is your challenge to yourself, to educate yourself who has a history of calling plays correctly and who is bullshitting. And if you can, learn how to read the basics of a balance sheet and a income statement and a cash flow statement. I have one video on each of how you can look at those in 5 minutes and know if it's a good company or a bad company. Just go back in my videos about 2 months ago, how to read a balance sheet in 5 minutes, how to read an income statement in 5 minutes. You don't need to be an accountant. There are basic things that you can learn that are not difficult. It will make you a much better trader. Doesn't matter if you're just buying stocks for a couple days. I don't look at financial statements. If I'm hopping in and out of a trade on the same day or 2-day hold, it does not matter. Look at the chart. But if you're holding it for a longer amount of time, you better know what is up with that company. Do they have convertibles? Do they have warrants? What's their dilution risk look like? Why is it being shorted? Because they're not making money. Okay, I get it. It's probably going to go down. Jesse, oh, we got a hater. He says the point is FINRA can screw other stocks too. Absolutely, they can, Jesse. I'll tell you what, Jesse, I am all for market change. There's an army of people in MMTLP that are fighting FINRA. How is that going? I don't have time to go fight every battle. What I do with my trading style is understand the field that I'm walking on and who makes the rules. Now, over time, can we change those rules with the appropriate amount of social pressure and talking to Congress? Absolutely. Jesse, that's a 10 to 20 year game. And you're going to run into a lot of obstacles. So the sooner you accept that and understand what field you're walking on, the less bad mistakes you'll make, like not selling MMTLP at 10 bucks. That's just harsh talk, but that is reality. I'm all for changing transparency and not allowing retail trades to be routed to a dark pool. Everything that you guys are fighting for, I believe in the same thing. But I more importantly believe in taking profits when it's smart. I could have told you that if you're going to go try and sue the DTCC or FINRA, you're going to be fucked. In fact, I did say that 6 months ago. Lou says, I went to AMC tonight and saw Mission Impossible, and it was awesome. Beautiful. Is part 2 next year? My wife wanted to know when part 2 was. I haven't looked it up yet. FINRA is very naughty. Stream Benji says, yeah. FINRA is naughty. Hedge funds are naughty. DTCC is naughty. NYSE is naughty. I want you guys to internalize that. They do not want you to win. So when the right time comes to take your profits, fucking take them. Stop listening to pie in the sky people. Remember when Al gave a $1 million price target for AMC? There ain't no damn way anybody on Wall Street would ever allow that to happen. Every crook, every organization would conspire against us long before it got to that. And I've been saying that for 2 years. Can you get squeezes on stocks? Can you make a lot of money on stocks? Absolutely. $1 million price target? Absolutely fucking clickbait, ridiculous nonsense. Pelosi's Baloney said pulled 620% on BILI 1750 call today. Beautiful. I'm not familiar with that ticker. BILI. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. How long ago did you buy that call? That's a nice run up in a couple days from 14 to 18 bucks. Yeah, 17.55. Not Money Advice says it exposes FINRA to certain Congress members. Yes, I agree. We need to expose them. I honor all of the fight that the MMTL people are doing. I wish that, but I also recognize that people are financially devastated in that play with almost no hope of recovery at this point. Does it make them feel better that a congressman is alerted, or would they rather have had $100,000 in their brokerage account? That's an easy choice for me. Fuck a congressman. If I invested $100K in MMTLP and then watched it piss away, and I said, I'm going to go fight FINRA and tell a congressman. No. I'm going to take my gains and move on to the next play. Now, if you get stuck by no choice of your own, everybody had a choice to sell at 10, and they consciously chose to write it all the way down. Okay, then you made your choice. I don't want to hear about how you're financially devastated. You made your choice. You decided to fight, and great. That will help all of us if you make headway. But I'm about locking in the gains, moving on. I don't want every play to be a fight. But there will come, from time to time, some that we get stuck in, and we will fight them, and it will take a decade or more of fighting to see any change. This is not going to happen overnight. So, again, getting back to understand the field you're walking onto. Juicy, Carvana has just been going nuts, right? I feel like Carvana was another planned pump. Who thinks that the used car market is just on fire right now? Yeah, look at this. I mean, what the fuck? $6 in May to 41 bucks. That is phenomenal. I never would have seen that coming, and I don't know anything in the used car market that justifies this. Carvana's finances, as I recall, it's been 6 months since I looked at them, were not that great. I haven't looked at them recently. Haven't even looked at the news to see if they dropped something to justify all this, but what a fucking fantastic play. If you were bold enough to go in and buy a troubled used car sales company. $17.96 says, I'll pass on a fucking congressman too. I know. Most of my viewers will pass on a fucking congressman and take the money. I know my message is not popular with everybody. I get it, but we're trying to build an audience of people who believe in get in early, get out early, move on. Along the way, we'll fight some for transparency, but it's going to be a lifetime fight. Just buckle in. Juicy says Carvana is a scam. I think so. I mean, I ought to look into that this weekend and figure out if it's tradable to the downside. What a freaking run up. I watch a couple used car guys on YouTube, and they're saying it's just absolute hell out there. It's hell selling cars at auction. It's hell selling cars on a lot. Why did Carvana go up 10x? Yeah, I mean, clearly the fundamentals don't matter in every run-up. But in the short term, fundamentals don't always matter. In the long term, if I pulled up Carvana's last 10Q and nothing has fundamentally changed since then what that tells me, and I haven't looked at it recently, it's been 6 months. If I looked at it and I see that the financials are still a wreck, then I know that it's going to drop back down to $6. It's just a matter of How fast and when? Any of y'all get a vicarious thrill? Brett is talking about repos. Anybody else watch some of these repo truck drivers? There's one really loquacious and entertaining country boy. I call him a country boy. I don't know where he's from. That drives a truck. He's always like, he's driving a tow truck in these apartments. And the managers have flagged the car for the sticker being out, or all the tires are flat. And he's hauling these cars away, and the people run out. Don't take my car. And he's like, well, ma'am, you got to go talk to the office. You know, I'm just doing what they tell me. That guy, I don't watch those every day. Like maybe once a month, I'll watch 2 or 3 of his videos. It is both, it's sad to watch people get their car repoed, because I understand the financial situations that they're in. But he handles it in such a graceful and polite way. Like he really doesn't want to tow their car. He'll give them a chance to run up to the office and talk to them. Unless they're jerks. You know, if you're nice to him, he'll, I've even seen him go in the office with people and have a chat. Rick says that's redneck TV. I'm fucking in Texas, Rick. We're in the middle of redneck country down here. Corey says he's in Atlanta. Okay. Yeah, I don't know anything about him, but he sounds southern to me. Shit, we went past midnight already. Rick says, I lived in Texas. What part did you live in, Rick? Yeah, Vern Dog, I've seen a couple of other tow company videos where the drivers are very confrontational. And ends up in fights and all sorts of crazy shit. And the humility and the Christian attitude that this guy brings to his channel makes me want to watch him. It's bad enough having your car towed to have a team of drivers come try and fight you in the middle of it. Of course, most of the people that are fighting are already pretty upset and wanting to fight to begin with, but you can have de-escalation skills as a driver, right? Terry says, I like momentum plays. Tony, you are not a BS. I appreciate it, Terry. I get called a BS 100 times a day. But over time, if you can stick around and stomach it, you'll see that I'm not BSing. I'm trying to educate and help you guys see through a lot of the hype. And boy, those guys fight. They fight dirty, those hypesters. They will never answer any of my DD. It's all just insults. You go look at what some of the finger people called me this week. Not one answer to any of the DD I provide them. Only insults. It's just like the AMC people. Only insults. If the best you can do is act like a 3rd grader or a 7th grader, then you already lost. AMCX, Terry. Oh, the TV station? Well, man. I mean, you've got a month of it coming up out of the bottom, but you've got all this history of it just getting obliterated. So hard for me to say without, I would, on something like this where you see it go from $78 down to $10, what I would do is go look at all of the quarterly statements and realize, try and understand why they got crushed. And then ask myself, now that I understand that, did anything change right here? Is the momentum on the daily still good? If we're just looking at the chart, yes, it's still okay. But when we bounce from 10 to 13 and we're wondering, is it going to go to 20 or 24? You need to have I want to have some belief that something fundamentally changed, or else you're just going to get this nonsense, a little bounce up and then crash back lower. Look how many times this happened. Bounce up for a few days and then down, up, down. I'm looking to buy things that are either massively moving over a couple day period, not just 30%, but massively moving. Or I want to find something that got beaten down and then something fundamentally changed in their finances or their industry where I can pick it up cheap. And if I researched AMCX and saw that they fixed whatever fundamental flaw they had, and now I think over the next 2 years they can go back from 10 to 30, then I don't care if I buy it at 10 or 13 because it's a long-term hold that I did my homework on. The daily looks okay, but I can't tell you how high it's going to go. The hourly looks fine. Still looks like it has some upward momentum. But I'd want to know a little more. This is AMCX, AMC Networks, the TV station. Have I been to ACL concerts? Yep, Rick, I have. Not recently, I'm getting older. I'm not a huge fan of those massive crowds. But I've been going to those even before it was called ACL. Back in the late 80s and early 90s, we had something called Aquafest, which was the genesis of ACL. It was multi-day, I think it was like a week long of concerts on multiple stages in the same location down there at Zilker Park. And on top of that, we had boat races. So they called it Aquafest. And I've been, going to those on and off for decades, but none recently. It's pretty difficult to get tickets, and they're damn expensive. Then you got to fight either a shit ton of heat or rain, depending on if you got lucky that year or not. And just massive crowds, no parking. If my wife really wanted to go, of course I would go, but. Well, that cigar is done. I saw the Rolling Stones. I think it was the Rolling Stones, but that was 7 years ago. Have not been recently. Someone said, look at Crocs. Yeah, that's not too bad. I mean, they've been on a nice upward trend since July of 2022. just I think Crocs are an assault on general fashionability. But people buy them. People like them. I've never looked at the financial statements on Crocs. I don't get that product. It doesn't matter what I think though, right? Because people buy them, and clearly the company's doing okay. PE ratio 12.75, trailing 12 months. I mean, they're doing okay, and the momentum definitely has been good over the last year. It looks like they've stalled out most of this year. So you got to ask yourself, are people going to buy more Crocs? What's going to take it to the next level? Is Crocs going to figure out how to generate more profits, either through increased sales or decreased cost of goods? What is it going to take to get them back up to 180, 200? That would take some investigative work, and I just don't follow Crocs. All right, ladies and gents, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be up around 4 or 5 in the morning, so I don't want this to go all night. Please drop a comment if you're watching this over the weekend, or tonight or tomorrow morning. Let me know what other tickers you want to see some new coverage on, because as AMC wraps up on the amount of drama and clickbait that I got to clean up from other channels, I will have much more free time. And so I want to know what other plays you're interested in, because a lot of times it doesn't matter what I'm interested in. You have certain questions. I'm here to help you. And I will also be sharing more educational videos about trading and other plays that I want you to think about of profitable companies. And yeah, some other topics. Like I said, we'll do a fitness video this weekend. It'll be quick. I'll just update you on where I'm at. And then there's the video with Teddy Zane this coming Tuesday night. But still mostly going to be stock stuff. But man, I'm going to be so glad to take this channel to the next step where we should not be stuck talking about penny stocks. If they're valid momentum plays, absolutely, let's talk about them. But don't ask me about, what are my thoughts on CEI or Prague? Things that have been run down from 30 bucks to 10 cents. No, we got to be better than that. So, thank you for your time tonight. Hopefully you got to enjoy one cold one with me. Again, I'm going to say, if you're in AMC and or APE, and you hadn't already heard me say this, I want you to go in your broker and set alerts for 5% up or down movement, including after hours. If your broker allows you to select, do you want alerts in pre-market and after hours, say yes, so that whenever Zern's written opinion drops, you will get notified. The big money players are going to be moving that price before you even know what is going on. But so you'll get an alert from the price before you know what's going on. Then you can go look at Twitter or look at the Delaware Chancery's opinion website and get caught up. We talked about a lot of things tonight that could affect the price of AMC and APE. I want you to be thinking about all of those. I want you to have a trading plan with your own brackets of what you're going to do if something goes up or down. Or your trading plan could be to hold. Your trading plan could be to say, F this, I'm done. Your trading plan could be to capitalize on short-term upside and then wait. By capitalize, I mean sell some shares, lock in some profits, and then step back and see what develops. So there's all sorts of trading plans. I'm not advocating any trading plan. I just want you to have a plan for multiple contingencies so that you're not paralyzed when things start happening. That's I guess my final thoughts for tonight. Those of you that are members of the channel, thank you. I will see you in Discord tomorrow. Don't forget, we have the voice channel, trading voice in the Discord. If I'm not live here on YouTube and you want to come hang out with me during the day, jump up to that voice live stream. You can just sit there and listen. You can ask questions. Doesn't have to be stock related, but that is a resource available to you guys. The Discord is free for supporters of the channel. What is a supporter of the channel? You hit that join button on YouTube. That just helps me pay the bills, pay for Ortex, Fintel, dilution tracker, internet, all of the stuff that I am continually upgrading to provide you guys more value and service here. And so all of the supporters of the channel, thank you. And if you're not taking advantage of the Discord, you're missing out on a lot of opportunities. It is free to you if you're supporting the channel. It's like $5 a month, 30 cents a day, something like that. And I only have a fee to keep out riffraff and scammers and clickbaiters and all the nonsense that you see on all the free Discords. We don't have that bullshit. It's a legit community of people sharing ideas, good and bad, about stocks, crypto, options, businesses, real estate. We talk about it all. And then we have the fun parts where we talk about keto and fitness and just life in general, movies, whatever. Everything has a room. Love you guys. We will see you on the next one. And Discord folks, I will see you in the morning. I'll be up early. Have a good night, guys.
So you wanna go to war with me? You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. The storm is coming, so you best